Okay, how am I gonna get this light lit up here, man? God damn, this light is horrible. Man, how do I clean up? Hey, Nick, what's happening, brother? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, man. Yep. Okay. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, man. So I'm doing a I'm gonna set up a Wednesday night live stream every Wednesday just to do this. Um, I'll have to figure out the best way to let people know beforehand. I'll probably do it in a video, but I'm glad to have you on. Uh, Soon, man, I'll be doing a hey Charles, how are you, man? Two of my core guys, man. Um, Charles, meet Nick. Nick is from the East Coast. Nick is a soul brother who really is a guitar expert, and a music collector, music aficionado. Nick is vinyl salesman and collector extraordinaire. Um, he used to run a record store, from what I remember. Yeah, yeah. Charles is a movie guy, man. Nick, for on your end, Charles is a movie dude. Knows about putting together film. So he's in LA doing film. Uh, so yeah, this is the live chat. Ultimately, Nick, I was going to tell you that I'll be doing more of a podcast format. I want something where we can talk to people, where I can talk back and forth, because this talking by myself thing is, it's all right, but I want to be able to. I'll interview your ass, Nick, and we can talk about guitars. Yeah, I'm the music guy. Yep, totally. So, yeah, we'll see if anybody else joins here. So far, we got a three-way, man. Yeah. So I wish I could hear you guys, but I can't. I'll figure out. I gotta see. There's a podcast format here. Goals for the future. Oh man, yeah. Some goals for the future. Yeah, podcast, man. The podcast, and I got some great products coming too. Uptown Reef, sup, dudes? Uptown. He's got some Uptown Reefa. What's up? uh, So is that reef as in coral reef, or is that reef as in reefa? Podcast would be rad. Right on, Norris. Yeah. So I am here at your guys' disposal. I guess I could talk more. I'm about ready to drop a. I guess I can talk about Expona, coral reefs and stereos. Yeah, man, and reefa. Cool. Yeah, I've got one of my other clients. Yeah, I'll spill my guts. One of my other clients sells rocks. I mean, unless that's Jason Uptown. I don't know if that's you, Jason. Um, but he sells rocks for cichlids, like they're rocks, the aquarium rocks. Anyways, okay, yeah. So I'm going to talk about. I'll talk a little bit about Expona and kind of go into it more. I'm about ready to drop my second half video about Expona and just sort of talk about how it went. So you guys now more than ever, hi-fi and the industry is really all about making beautiful stuff. And actually, the stuff is there's a lot less shitty gear than there used to be. So it seems like a lot of the shows were, a lot of the rooms were really good. um, more so than normal. You used to be, I'd go and I'd see tons of shitty rooms, and I couldn't just believe it. I'd be like, man, how can so many rooms sound so horrible? But this time around, almost every room sounded good and looked good. So for you guys that are trying to determine and figure out hi-fi and determine what's good, it's going to be harder than ever because the gear is all now. Look, it's the same few rooms that were great and impressive, but overall, there's a lot less crap than I think there's ever been. So, and everybody's concerned with making it look good. So, I saw a lot of great looking stuff. Um, you're super satisfied with the sub 10K product offerings from Expona. That's cool. I didn't. Man, that's cool that you saw that stuff. All I saw it seemed like was just more $150,000 speakers that I could shake a stick at, and it was kind of like, wow, I can't believe so many brands and so many companies and people are selling stuff for $150,000. So I'm glad that you found some sub 10K product. That's great. Um, so that's really cool. If anybody has any questions about Exponent or wants to ask me anything, feel free to ask away because I really don't have a format tonight. Coming in with the next Wednesdays, I'll start to put down a format, and I'm gonna get some sort of a podcast where we can interview people, and maybe I'll start doing the podcast every Wednesday night, something like that. Missed the funk party. Oh man, it was a blast, bro. It was crazy, man. There was just tons of music. They were playing killer music. A bunch of people dressed up like in funk outfits, 70s stuff. Man, people were getting down. We danced all night long. We were just boogieing. It was really fun. I don't drink anymore. It's been 23 years. I've been sober. So uh, I dance. When I say we're partying, it doesn't mean we're getting stupid drunk. It means we're dancing, and we're chowing good, some great catered food. Yeah, so it was a lot of time. How many rooms had tube gear compared to before? Oh, I think it was Booger Sugar. The Shug. No, no, no Shug for Mikey, man. No, the Shug, all fun and all work and no play makes Mikey a dull boy. So no, no Shug. Um, I really going to Mike. I might go to Mike. I don't know, man. Mike got weird, a little weird. I mean, I have to continue the conversation. I've got a conversation going back and forth. You got to understand, I've got an adversarial kind of relationship with this guy named Elliot. And he just, I don't know what that dude's deal is, but he called me up one night because he thought that I slighted his product or something. And this dude used profanity to me like, high school. Like it was such a deep level that it's like if you're in front of somebody, you just swing when they talk like that. Even though I'm not a fighter, you just want to kick somebody in the balls. So and I think those two guys are friends. And Elliot was like, I'm going to take you down regardless, no matter what, I'm going to do whatever's in my power to take you down. And Mike is his friend, so I don't know if he's trying to talk Mike out of it or whatever. I think Mike is afraid that I'm coming to slam Wadax, which is not my purpose there. I'd like to hear Wadax, but he really wants his prerogative is to show me analog and kind of convert me to analog, which I don't know if it's possible, but if anybody could do it, probably Mike, because I guess his rig is to be held, like something that's crazy. Was there any innovation? Yeah, there was some innovation at Expona. Did it equal Sonic? I don't necessarily know. What's cracking? What did I think of PS Audio? It's funny. PS Audio was not bad. I don't like the brand. I do madly respect them. I totally respect Paul. And it doesn't mean I love the brand, but I did have to say mad respect to the speakers, man. I listened to the speakers. I listened to it. They're made in China. I asked them, but they sounded good and they're only 30 grand. They bug me out because they're round on the bottom. So it's like they want to tip over. It's a weird shape for me. So I don't like the shape of it, but they did sound pretty good. Yeah, there you go. Gleam Terrace. Good for you, man. Yeah, man. Alcohol is my nemesis. I cannot control it, and I tried too many times, and I just it's not good for me. Florida had that sugar in the 80s, no doubt, dude. It was the shale. It was the Peruvian flake, man. That stuff will make your face fall off. That What's Best Form Crowd is wild. Elliot blew up for no reason. Man, you should have heard the guy on the phone call, brother. Oh my god, dude. I've never heard anybody talk like that. I mean, it was like Elliot of what brand? Wadax and Goebel. That's who the dude is. He's a blowhard New Yorker who's really just very much a busybody. I guess people like him. He's got his group of people that like him. I don't. Man, I went by his store and I got to know him a little bit. We spent like a couple hours together. He couldn't show me turn anything because he was getting ready for the show. But I was in Florida picking up a Ducati, and I stopped by just to introduce myself and get to know the guy. But holy shit, I did a short of the Wadax, and I said, and I made a comment. Someone was talking about how it looked, making fun of it, of course, because it's easy target to make fun of. It's $165,000 freaking DAC, and it looks super gaudy. And so people say it looks like a boom box from Best Buy and shit like that, because it kind of does. It's gaudy. And I said it looked like a dinosaur hacked up a hairball. Now I'm saying that to be funny because I'm a freaking clown, right? I like to joke around. Like, who cares if I say it looks fucking ugly? We're not talking about the sound. We're talking about how it looks, which is like this important, right? But Elliot lost his freaking mind, bro. He came unhinged. I've never heard anybody like. I mean, it was so bad that I'm like, I want nothing to do with that guy because I think he's a loose cannon. He's like, he can flip on you. He can go from being your buddy to like wanting to slit your throat or something. He was talking to me like I can't. I'm just telling you, man. If the dude is if guys in front of you talking to you like that, you kick him in the fucking balls and punch him in the face. So I just got my new hybrid Macintosh and I love it. I know you're not a Mac guy, but you really inspired me to seek out what I would really enjoy. Good, man. I'm glad because the bottom line is that you just enjoy it. What I love about Macintosh is the look. They're so cool looking. They just look like old school hi-fi. It's like an AC Cobra. They just look cool. Uh, are they the best stuff in the world? Not in my opinion. Will they work with magnet fans? No, they don't work with beans loads because they have auto formers on the output. They're a little weird, but they really win a prize for me for look. I really think they're beautiful. I thought I was cordial, Mike. I thought I was cordial too. Evidently he didn't, and he lost his freaking mind, bro. Anything from USA sounds above average. I wouldn't go as far as anything, but yeah, a lot of stuff. We kind of take pride in what we make, and we have a certain way of doing things where we want to be boss. So we make things that are big and loud and tough and strong, and that's just like how we like to make shit. So we don't need to be polite. We make no apologies. I still use my Seton AS3300. I don't even know what that is, but cool, man. Hey, Mikey, can you explain what is a digital amplifier, a power DAC? Yeah, I mean, I can't go into details, Alex, because I'm not, an electronics engineer. A digital amplifier, you feed it a digital signal and it makes analog on its output. Okay. A class D amplifier, you feed it analog. Okay. So digital amplifier is very much a DAC. So you don't need a DAC if you have a digital amplifier. It's like DAC and power in the same thing. I still haven't heard one that I really thought was that great. Um, don't like the style of PS Audio, looks too contemporary. Yeah, it does. And I think in their zeal to be different, they created a very odd shape where normally it would be round on top, square on the bottom. That would make sense from a building standpoint. So to have it round on the bottom and square on top, to me, it's upside down. So it looks like an upside down speaker, and it kind of bugs me out a little bit. Um, this Expona felt more like a pre-COVID compared to any other trade shows I've been to for work or pleasure in several years. Yeah, I think that's true. It still seemed small to me. It did not seem like it was busy. I've been to Exponas where you can't move down those hallways, where it's jam packed with people. and it's hard to get in rooms. This year was not like that. So while it may be decent attendance, I don't think the promoters of that do a good job promoting the show. I think they do a crappy job promoting the show. They don't do any radio commercials. They don't do any local newspaper ads. So they're not bringing in any new blood. It's fun for people that show up, but for the exhibitors, it's horrible, man. We pay. I mean, I'm not exhibiting, but they pay so much money, and the ROI is zero. You get zero return on investment. It's fun for the attendees, and especially these old codgers that get together. I'm one of them, and for a social event, and you see all your friends, and you go to dinner, and you have fun. It's great, you know. But from a standpoint of, is this really doing what it should be doing for the industry? No, it's not doing that at all. What it should be doing for the industry is bringing new blood into the industry, bringing people that don't know too much about hi-fi into hi-fi to check it out and see what it's like. But it doesn't do that at all. Um, let's see. Say, good day, good day. Humor is not allowed anymore. I know it's not. You can't. You know, it brings us to the thing. You know, which humor is not allowed. You can't even say something's gay. You know, and look, man, my some of my closest clients are gay, and my friends, whatever. It doesn't matter, but you can't say shit is gay, and there is some gay ass shit, and you can't say it, and it's like, but that bicycle helmet's so gay, you know, or whatever. You know, it's like, come on, I can't say that. Fuck, that sucks, you know, because, and it has nothing to do with LBGT. Today's equipment is comical. It can be, man. Some of the stuff really is comical today. How was my recent visit at Jay's Audio Lab? You know, Jay, couple things. Okay, Jay. First of all, Jay's room is visually something to behold. It is like, I mean, those speakers are freaking wicked. I've never seen speakers look so fucking intense. You know, I mean, they have lights on the back. You have little battery operated lights that you flick on lights so that you can see the back of the speaker to make your adjustments. So look, Jay has a speaker that has a resistor array on the back. Every single driver has a resistor that is associated with it, so you can tune that speaker for your room. Okay, so Jay got these from somebody else. So they have the last guy's settings. So Wilson speakers, you cannot judge them. And in my opinion, they're not worth even talking about until Wilson comes out and tunes them for you. Or at least somebody that has microphones that knows how to take readings and adjust the drivers to get somewhat of a flat response. So it's hard to tell. I get boom crash, and typically Jay's system is not a sonic that I particularly like. It's more about 0 to 100 in zero point 0.3 seconds, and just you pass out from the you know, from being beat over the head with the dynamics. It's look, it's perfect. Okay, if you go in and you try and critique the sonic, there's nothing to critique. It has all the bass, all the mid, all the thing. But does it connect you to the music? It doesn't, because it distracts me. I'm analyzing the sound so much, listening to how it sounds, because it's ear candy. It's straight pure ear candy. So you're sitting listening, and you're so enamored by how it sounds and all this ear candy that you're not connecting with the music. Mine, on the other hand, is very much more natural. So you connect to the music. So you're not even thinking about that that this is audio gear. You forget you're listening to an audio system. That's the type of listening that I like to do. Jay's, you're very aware you're listening to an audio system, and you're critiquing it, and it's blowing you away. You know, so it's not my type of listening, but it is an impressive setup. Holy shit, $365,000, you know, speakers, and $165,000 amp and all that stuff. It's over the top, and it's amazing to look at. And what up, Cuba? Que hola, Freddie? What's up, man? So Jay's fun to go see. Jay, I call Jay little bro because he's freaking 3 times my size, and he's my little bro. He's you know, I'm 25 years in this. He's 6 or 8 years, whatever he is in this. So I call him little bro. Jay is a good guy. Jay has good intention. I know that he causes some problems, and he stirs stuff up in his zeal to try and cover relevant stuff. Jay has a good heart, man. He's a good guy at heart, and that's what's important. Um, will I compare my taste and sound signature versus Jay? Yeah, I just did that. What was my favorite room at Expona? What was my favorite restaurant? Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? We went down and we had some Chinese food. My friend Dwan from Minnesota, one of my clients and friends, had a Michelin rated Chinese food place that was kind of like a dive, but it's Michelin rated. And we went and it was phenomenal. We had some ribeye that was thinly sliced and it came in a chafing dish with all these veggies and like in a saute sauce. So it was fabulous, man. It was so good. Um, Jay's system sound any better in person? Probably. I don't know how to tell. I mean, I never forgot the Tecton spider eyes staring at my soul. I know I'm ready for worms to crawl out of the tweeters. I just acquired two pairs of JBLs. Cool. Okay, and a pair of JBLs. What the heck am I going to do with them? They have new suspensions and caps are refreshed. So I don't really know what those are, Hawkeye. I don't know those models. I don't know enough about JBL to know what those are. But if they're old JBL woofers, those things are legendary. And you could create some killer stuff out of them. I don't even know who to ask. Maybe Montana loudspeakers or PBN in California. I know he likes JBLs and he uses them in some of his designs. Fair assumption, I imagine Jay's system would sound quite a bit like the Sonus Faber in Boulder Room at Expona. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's what it was. I think at Expona, Sonus tamed Boulder. I think because Sonus is kind of a musical sounding speaker as far as my experience. So I think that Sonus tamed out the Boulder a little bit there. But yeah, when is the Simon All in One coming out, man? Simon is putting that together. I have no idea, but that is a killer piece, man. I'm hoping within the next 30 days. Instead of all the different available flavors, ugly distortions, it would be great if more qualified audio engineers would learn all distortions are distortions. Duping unknowing people is disgraceful. Well, David, so what you're talking about there is that too clean is really not fun. Okay, it's not good listening. Um, it can be if your upstream is totally sorted, but you must realize perfectly clean, zero distortion is extremely revealing. It is extremely hard to deal with. You must really match components well. And so super clean, no distortion, in my opinion, it's not the best listening that I've had. I've had more fun listening with a little bit of distortion, something from tubes, something with a class AB. And some of the best designs have distortion, man. Some of the best brands. Look at Past Labs, great brand, not my typical, my favorite, but they sort of flip the bird at you. They say you look up their spec and they're like distortion 1%, and it's like they're giving you their middle finger. They're like, you don't like distortion, don't buy our shit. That's basically what they're saying. So honestly, clean audio isn't always what it's cracked up to be. Your system blows Jay's away, one of the few I respect. It's all just a matter of taste, quite honestly. It's a matter of taste. There's many people that like Jay's type of thing. Get ready, Mikey. All right, Steve-O, it's coming, right? Um, Thanks for the heads up, brother. I bought some Indo Rupiah and some dong when I was at the airport coming back from Chicago at Expona. I saw the stand and I stopped and I bought me some paper so I could hold on to it. I got my that account, but I still want some paper to hold. Hawkeye, I'm listening to my new Raspberry Pi with the Hi-Fi Berry DAC. Yeah, man. And hat. I've got, yeah, dude. I bought like 12 of those things. Seriously, I've got 6 different SBC streamers right on my in my closet over there. I tried all of them, and they are very good. Actually, some of them. Bro, the ramen joint next to the show was fire. Oh, cool, man. That's good. I didn't make it there. I'm not really a ramen fan, man. I've tried to like it and I've tried to go to these places, but it still reminds me of the frickin' like the little blocks, man. I can't get away from it. I'd have to have the place where they make the fresh noodles, then it might be good. are more acceptable to me. Otherwise, to me, even though they put good broth and everything, it's still almost like a little block of ramen. It reminds me. There was a point in my life where that's all I ate, bro, because that's all I could afford. So it kind of ruined ramen for me. Jay's Room are quite suboptimal for the Chronosonic and accompanying would you regret? Quite honestly, I don't know enough about Wilson or the Chronosonic to give an educated and to say if it was suboptimal. I know that that he doesn't have Wilson has not set up the speakers for that room. So I would say in the current settings for those speakers, I think they are suboptimal because they need to be set up by Wilson, and then they would be optimized for that room. So right now, I would say they are not optimized. So I think he could get a lot more out of them. Mikey, are you into surround Atmos? Not at all. What are my thoughts? It's kind of cool. I've seen it. It's kind of interesting that you can watch concerts, but I'm not into video. One of my famous quotes. One of my clients, local clients, really laughed when I said it. Was I was setting up a home theater room for him because it was a friend of the family, right? And he was saying something about it. And I said, "Man, I'm Mike Powell audio, not Mike Powell video." And he about had a laughing fit when I said that because I could give two shits. I don't do Atmos. I have a home theater, and it has a purpose, and it's for watching movies. I don't listen to music on it. Thinking of a Sugden 21 SE thoughts. I don't know about Sugden. All I know is I think they're from China, and so as good as they could be, I think China is politically a bad world player. I think they're our enemy, so I don't support China in any time I can. And I hate to say that, and I hate to be political, but this world is fucked up right now, and China is kind of like totalitarian control freaks, and God forbid those guys run the world. What gear impressed me at Expona? Avant garde. What are those speakers? Radho, Margules, AGD, Rhythm. Let's see. Um, that's just to name a few. I mean, and it really it's whatever happens at the shows is not a indication of if they're good. Just like I talked about, man. MBL is a terrific brand, but they didn't sound that great at the show. In Florida, they sounded phenomenal. So the gear brands can change depending on the show. So show is no indication of how good something is. It's really sad and it's misleading for you guys that go to the show. You're not going to determine if anything is worthwhile based on what it does at the show. All we can say is this is how good these guys were at this show. We can talk about what room sounded the best, but it doesn't mean that was the best gear. My favorite panel speaker. I didn't hear many. I would say probably the one that stood out as being really good was probably Diptyque, but I think they overpriced it at 50 grand. There's nothing on that speaker I feel that should be 50 grand. When you're comparing it to the Magnapan that's in that same size, the Magnapan's $8,000. Diptyque is 50 grand. Does the Diptyque do better bass? Yeah, it does lower bass. It does some more bass. But I can add a couple subs to my Magnapans for another, say, 5 grand, and I've got what 5 plus 8, 13 grand, versus 50. So Diptyque, I think, priced themselves too high, but they were really good. In the early 90s at 2JBL, yep, in 15, yeah, that's powered by the Fosgate power. Fosgate. Yeah, I know. The newest stuff is all plastic. I have that same problem with the motorcycles. I just bought a Ducati, and it is the top of the line multi-strada 1260. The fucking thing has plastic all on the dashboard. I'm like, dude, how can you put freaking plastic? Use carbon fiber, use something, you guys. But plastic, God, it's I don't know. Even the old stuff, it used to somehow not be so plasticky. Any update on the Roland 555? No specs. It's going to be roughly around 120 watts per channel. It'll be bridgeable, which the 625 S2 was not. It'll probably be around 12 grand. It's just being finished up. Jeff is one that he releases no wine before it's time. So Jeff does not prematurely release his gear. So that 555 is going to have to be dead nuts freaking perfect before Jeff releases it. So we have to wait and stand by patiently. But man, I can't wait. I've got 5 of them on order right off the cuff. Do this more often. Someone who makes sense is appreciated. Yeah, man, I'm going to do this every Wednesday for you guys. Okay. So, and hopefully what I'm going to do is roll this into a podcast type. Actually, I'll do a podcast on Wednesday night. I'll do this question and answer thing for you guys. And then a different night, I'll have an interview where I interview somebody and I do podcast format. And I'll do that once a week too. And that should be pretty good. I hope for you guys. That's a great way to look at it. Yeah, I can't remember what we were looking at, but thanks. Ramen in Japan is amazing. I miss my time there. Yeah, I know. I had ramen in Tokyo at the airport, and it was good. You know what I had in Japan in Takamatsu was udon, which udon I normally do not like because it's big, fat, gooey, sticky noodles, right? But in Takamatsu, man, where they invented udon, I went there where these dudes are making the shit, like making the noodles, man, and they're putting it into a big ass, huge boiling pot, and they were, oh my god, it was the best. I mean, that was some udon, man, was like the bomb diggity. I probably won't ever want it anywhere else but there after trying it. You know, the sushi was, forget about it, bro. Talk about, I did a flight of sushi. I totally documented the whole thing. I took a picture. Every single dish they served us was a different dish. The little dish that the sushi was on, it was nigiri, and he'd serve it, and each one was different. With the dish was different. It was so charming. It was so cool, man. Japan is really cool. I miss my time there too. Wilson needs 3 days to set up Chronosonic. That is I get it. I get it. Wasp. What's that? The band? White Anglo-Saxon Protestant? Mikey, who did the killer drawing of you for the newer intro? It's pretty spot on. Yeah, man, that's my art guy. I had him. I told him to take the picture of me and make a sketch. So I've got an art guy, an illustrator that he does like illustration and cartoons and shit like that. And I had him do that. So thanks, man. I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a good job too. Okay, where am I? Wilson, what's up? Oh yeah, well, I got a volleyball named Wilson. Yeah, you do. They are not want to do a shootout Mola Mola Class D versus AGD. Sure, send me the Mola Molas, man. No problem. Let's. I mean, you might not sell them after that. Sugden is not made in China. Oh, that's right. Sugden's UK. My bad. You're right. You're right. The one I was thinking of is, yeah, I looked at Sugden the other day. It's a UK brand, and from what I know, it's been there a while. I think it's pretty established. I've never heard it, so I don't know anything about it, but it looked pretty good from what I could see online. My minimum room size for Magnapan. Minimum room size. There is no minimum room size, man. You can put them in a closet, dude, and just listen to them near field. The room size, there is no minimum room size. You can sit right up on those things. You just don't want them pressed against the wall. So, okay, minimum room size, 12 by 12, you know, that's a pretty damn small room. Let's say you could probably do it in a 10 by 10 room, maybe, you know, the closer you get them to your ears, the less you have to have them out. Yeah. So Sugden is British. My last post disappeared. Mark, I don't know. What did you put, Mark? Cause I'm not editing anything, but I've got an automatic editor where the algorithm pulls anything that might be, considered offensive or whatever. So if I don't know if you say anything that's too extreme, maybe it'll snag it. Because I don't really want any trolls on here talking shit. Sugden is British. Hey, Mikey, minimum. Okay, yeah. Sugden is still made in UK. Yep, that's right. Made in the UK. No heads up, Dave. Oh, sorry, Dave. Yeah, yeah. I know, man. I was just I just sort of did this on a whim, and I realized, oh shit, I was half an hour past my schedule. because we were talking. I'll do this now Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be 6 p.m. California time. Give you guys time to get home from work. Okay, so many bass issues at the show, and nobody tries PSI active bass traps, I presume. No, but active bass traps sound like a great idea. I've talked about that. You could actually put in actual other subs that just are out of phase with the problem, just the nulls or whatever. Yeah, and I don't even know how it works, but I know that you can put active subwoofers in that work opposite like of the ones to take out nulls or to take out peaks rather than nulls. Did I hear any of the IR acoustics gear? No, and no, I'll just leave it at that. No, that one doesn't really get my interest. I don't know why. What's the other one? Air, and then there's another one. No, that one doesn't really interest me so much. I don't know why. It just never really has. Avant-garde was probably representative of my. Yeah, I love avant-garde, man. They always sound killer. Like the most premium example of clip shared. Yeah, totally. Always loved avant-garde. It's a killer speaker. It is very particular, man. You want that with you use that with. They're really good for tubes, and they're good. You can use. They're so forgiving, Well, they're not forgiving that they're in that they're revealing, but they are forgiving in that you can use any amp with them. Buenos dias, my audiophile amigo. Buenos dias, Roberto. Con mucho gusto. Bimota is all metal. Bimota. It's Bimota. Bimota. Yeah, Bimota is mostly race bikes, and I don't want a race bike, although those bikes are sick, and I really do dig them. Those are super cool bikes. I bought a Multistrada, which is a sport touring, so I've got full bags on it, and I sit upright almost like a dirt bike, but I can flog the turns on it. Any opinion on the Grimm? Okay, yeah. Okay, so Grimm sounded okay. I have not had the Grimm in here. I know a lot of people think the Grimm is great, but I've got 2 customers that had the Grimm and compared it to the Playback Designs, and they like the Playback Designs better. Both of them sold the Grimm. One of them really didn't like it, but I thought most people liked it. But I have 2 customers. Both of them said that they didn't. One of them really didn't like it. The other one said it was really good, but the Playback Designs beat it, so he kept his Playback Designs. Remember the JDL one? JBL sounded great even when driven by a Sony receiver. Yeah, man. Well, those were the Sony receivers of yesteryear, man. They're not the same, bro. I've got some cool ass Pioneer shit from back in the day, and that was the shit. It's not like that. Yeah, Bimota. Nice. Udon is amazing. I used to sell Louis Vuitton copies in the street near an Udon truck. Yaniv, what's your home country, Yaniv? Are you Middle Eastern? That sounds well, maybe you might be like Eastern European, like Serbian or something. Andy, Mike, enjoying the chat. I just bought a Puritan 156 and to transform my system. I'm hoping to do it. Townsend will do the same. Yeah, man. Did you buy it from me? Puritan 156? I don't think so, dude. What's the matter with you? The milk smells like rotten eggs in Japan. Tastes like milk, though. Ew. Yucky. Alex Suarez. Mikey, can you interview Jeff Rowland? Jeff Rowland, I would probably be the one guy that could interview Jeff Rowland, but he does not like to talk in public. I can see if he might be down for it, but he's very shy about that. There's so many idiots and trolls in the world that he doesn't send his stuff for review, and he doesn't do reviews because he doesn't want his stuff to be taken. He'd rather say nothing than have somebody take what he's saying wrong. So it kind of sucks. But if anybody could interview him, it would be me because we ride motorcycles together. Shouldn't your new MoFi killer speaker use 11-inch woofer? Yeah, it does, for Tall Paul. Are you called Tall Paul because you know Tall Paul? I know Tall Paul. Thank you for the tutorial on how to make a streamer. Inspired by that, I made one from a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, there you go, man. And a Matrix Audio Ethernet. Love it. Right on, Chris. Way to go, buddy. That's great, man. I need to try Credo speakers. Oh boy, I've got some speakers coming up. I've got two brands of speakers that are coming up that you guys have no clue of. And wait till you see what's coming up. Jason, hey brother, cheers to you. Are the Maggie Minis worth it? Those little desktop speakers? I don't know, man, but those things look cool as shit. They've got their own ribbon tweeter. Those are on my want list that I haven't gotten any yet, but those things look cool as shit. Those would be really cool. I think, man, those are baby ass 3.7s, man. How cool. I love realism. Are Maggies still the go-to? Hell yes, they are. If you love realism, Maggie is your speaker, and they're such a good value. You just need to add subs to them. That's all to understand. What order to upgrade ICs, power cables, and speaker? Oh, power cords first, then speaker cables, then interconnects. So the order that you upgrade, and you should buy my stuff too, by the way, Virastar. It's coming soon, and I'm bringing it to you guys, to the tribe. I make phenomenal foil-based products that I just sent one to a guy. They beat his $7,000 power cords. Anyways, so again, the order, if you're upgrading your stuff. Now, Derek, I'm bringing the whole group through this upgrade process. Just so you guys know, I'm giving you a foreshadow. In a little bit, I have an outside vendor that I'm teaching, a contract manufacturer that's going to make the cables for us. Okay. They're making them for me to my specification. They're learning how to do it now. They've given me samples. They're able to do it. And I am going to bring the group together. We're going to take like 50 people at the same time. We're going to get speaker cables. Then we're going to move on to interconnects. Then we're going to move on. We're going to start with power cords. Then we're going to move on to speaker cables. Then we're going to move on to interconnects. I'm going to do it with everybody. I'm going to offer you guys wholesale price. And then if you want to trade them in, you'll get 80% of what you paid. And your results are going to be guaranteed. So we'll do that all together. But the order is power cords first if you're going to upgrade, then speaker cables, then interconnects, in order of what makes the most sonic difference. Okay, so let's see. My thoughts on battery supply for front-end gear versus Puritan. Battery power supplies have their own problems. Batteries have a sonic signature. And so you can use a UPS, a battery power supply. Use a computer UPS if you want to try it. They have a battery that's a big battery too. So I don't really, I don't buy the putting a battery into the thing. It's just not my, it's not my thing. You know, some people like it, I guess, but not my deal. Can I pick emotion over hi-fi? Cool that you pick emotion over hi-fi sound. Yeah, for sure, man. That's right, Paul. Hi-fi is seemingly easy compared to systems that can do these things effortlessly with emotion and tech, for sure. And it's not only got to feel it, but the way that I compare this, or the way that I judge the engagement of a system, is what are my thoughts that are happening when I'm sitting here listening to the music? What is my brain doing? Is my brain analyzing the sonic signature, and am I thinking and very aware about what speakers, and I'm thinking about what's making the sound and what sounds so good or what doesn't sound perfect or whatever? Or are my thoughts totally absorbed in the music? What is this song? Who wrote this thing? What were they thinking? What is this song about? What are they singing about? Geez, man, this is a sad song or whatever. So it's very distinct when your brain is connected to the music and your brain is connected to analyzing the audio sound. Okay. And those are two different systems. And that's how I easily tell is what my brain is doing and what my thoughts, what kind of thoughts I'm having when I'm listening to the music. That's how I can tell if I'm in a good rig. If I'm completely engaged in the music, it's that rig. I don't give a shit what I think it sounds like. I'm engaged. That is a kick-ass rig, because very few engage me to the point where I forget I'm listening to hi-fi. I couldn't care less what freaking amp it is, what speaker it is. I don't care, because I'm totally connected to the music. So those are the best systems that you lose track of, even that you're listening to a rig. You just don't even care anymore. So that is what I seek out, and that is what I recreate for my customers. Henrik, hello from Denmark. Hello, Henrik. How are you, buddy? Did I hear the Danville signal? No, but Danville, no. That's super cool. I suppose Danville would be good guys to do it because they're pro audio guys. DSP and pro audio making their way into hi-fi. To me, I'm skeptical, and I don't necessarily like DSP. Okay, because here's let me boil it down to the nitty gritty. Presumably with kick-ass DSP, you can make anything sound good. It doesn't matter how the shit's made because you can just push the sound this way or that way. You can manipulate the sound to sound good. You can force it to sound good. Okay. When sound is manipulated and forced and changed and all chopped up, sliced, diced, to me, it sounds like there's effort taking. It sounds like it doesn't sound effortless, like passive sound control. I prefer to do it in a passive way, not actively with DSP. I prefer to get the speakers that have this sonic naturalness because of the wood they use, and because then it's like an instrument. Otherwise, we're just doing computer shit. And I don't warm up to computer shit as much as I do a nice handcrafted speaker, a nice amplifier that makes a certain sound because of an output device that they use or because of a choke input transformer or whatever they use. I prefer to do it in a passive way. So while DSP is extremely effective and it works, it still hasn't won me over. I still have not heard an active speaker that's won me over. I've still not heard DSP that's fully won me over. But I would check it out. I did not hear Danville Signal DSP Nexus. What did I think of Estelon Room? I did not hear Estelon. The price is BS. So that's no good. I remember Estelon when it was the old guy from Estonia and his daughter. And cute couple, pretty daughter, cute old man, and these guys would show up at the shows and working hard, man. Now what happens is these companies some distributor gets a hold of them, the price doubles, and it turns into something else. I prefer the brands when there's still that feeling of family. And I liked Estelon when it was the family. I haven't seen those two in a long time. So I don't know what happens to Estelon now. This happens almost to every brand. There's a one point where it gets away from people. And it turns into this corporate thing. One exception, Dave, which I'm sure I'm going to bring up, would be TAD. Even though they are corporate and they have been around for a very long time, they very much still retain a family feel to them. There's very few brands that can cross that and maintain that still after all these years. And I think Estelon has lost what they may have once had in that charm. I just remember from Estelon in my history, even though I tend to like the people more, it was an okay brand. I mean, it's like YG Acoustic. It's kind of like, meh, they can be good, sure. Chris, nice job on the recap vid, giving the scoop on how hard it is on these vendors to get a room set up that sounds good at the shows. I know your job is to expose the nonsense, but this was the truth. Yeah, man, it is hard. It's hard. It is hard to do that, I mean, and there's no love, and you don't get any ROI, and the show doesn't promote well enough to bring in the new blood to see the wares. So it's kind of, you get a stiff member for the exhibitor. For the attendees, it's a lot of fun. I have a clue on one of the brand of speakers coming. Yeah, you do, buddy. I haven't told you about the other one. I need to tell you because that might come into the mix. Mike, it's Nick from Capital Audio Fest. It's tribe time. What's up, Nicky? How you doing, brother? I got to give you the rock on. The rock on. What do they call these things again? This is an Italian thing. They used to call that the I can't remember what the old Italian people would call that. And this didn't it come from like Dio or something like that? Like it came from Italian, I think. It's weird when people have those car batteries in their listening rooms. Imagine if they leak, holy shit, or start on fire. I know. That's true. What's your budget power cable? Copper. Virastar. It's my own copper. It's silver plated copper, and they're like they're $450 for a 5-foot And I'm probably going to, when we start out, I'm going to offer them out to the tribe for even better price than that. It's weird when people have, yeah, okay, read that one. Instructions say to never do this, but have you ever tried, Toad in Maggie's with the inner mid part of the panel slightly further back than the tweeter side, as this has helped to tame some bad notes for me. Yeah, it can be in every room is different. So let me understand what you're trying to say. Farther back than the tweeter side. Oh, well, that's how I always do it. And I put my Maggie tweeters on the outside. I always toe my Maggies in. I always toe my panels in. And I put them wide and I toe them in hard. Okay. That is not something people do quite, but that works the best for me. I put the tweeters on the outside. I put them wide apart. I toe them in hard, and it casts an image right into the middle of the room, and it's killer. That's how I set up Maggie's. I do not put them flat in the room. No freaking way. Jeff Rowland 625, still the best solid state amp in your opinion. I love that piece, Michael. And that is, man, if you can find one, and not just the 625, the S2, get your hands on it and hold it, because there's no more available. And we don't know if we'll see more or if they're coming, man. Because Jeff, in order to make a run of these, he's got to gear up and do 50 chassis. He's got to do at least 20 chassis. And Jeff is, let's just say the industry is not looking hopeful for most people, most of us that have been doing this for a long time. The way that we see things headed is a bunch of malarkey. It's a bunch of marketed crap, and those are the brands that sell. So the killer shit like Jeff Rowland, like Viola Labs, stuff that is, I think Rowland is really a stellar value. People don't even recognize what a value 625. That's how, I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's how stupid the market is. Market's so stupid that they think 625 is about chassis. It's like, you're so idiotic, dude. What other amp for 18.5 gives you 350 per side, made in USA, that sounds that good? I don't know of anything. And so Jeff is probably sick of being underappreciated. And you know what? He's got enough dough, and he's got the 555 coming out. So who knows what'll happen? But it is absolutely, if I had to put one of the top 3 solid state amps in my choices, period, 625 S2 would absolutely be one of them. And I've got 2, and I'm not selling them. What about Name's new series? Oh, Name, dude, no way. I avoided it at the show, Frederick, because I saw it in Florida and it sounded so bad. I think Name and Focal is a horrible combination. Now, perhaps it works out in some rig somewhere, but at the shows that I've heard, Name and Focal together equal pain, and they're just not good. I love the look of Name. It's cool shit. I love the look of Focal. I want it to sound good because it looks so damn cool, and I'd love to own some of that shit. It's just, it doesn't sound good, man. Name was 350 grand for this huge Borg cube that looks so badass. It's modern art sculpture. It's so cool, but it sounded horrible. I don't like the sound, man. So far, Name is not a good one for me. I'm sorry to say that. Thanks for my efforts. Thank you for your appreciation, Romano. I appreciate that. I do make effort, and sometimes I get burnt out. Sometimes I wonder, I wish I could just disappear. I hate to say that, but it's like, after you just get some trolls and shit, and you're like, you know what? I don't need to do this shit, and you're like, people don't appreciate it. It's like, it's an uphill battle. I fight against the powers that be. I do have the senior editor of Absolute Sound coming to my house on Saturday to listen to my rig, and I can't wait to blow them away and show them what the rig sounds like. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is the senior editor of the Absolute Sound coming to Mikey's crib to listen to the rig. So I'm happy about it. Thoughts on the MQA bankruptcy? Did they go bankrupt? MQA bankruptcy. Um, MQA. Yeah, I don't know, Dave. I haven't heard. I look, any sort of new format to me is a hustle. And when I went to the MQA local audiophile store, they had MQA guys came in from corporate and they did a really great presentation. And man, I was in, but just by the sales, the pitch was so compelling that I was in, and I said, let's go listen. They said, we'll go to the listening station. Let's listen. And I said, okay, how do I toggle back and forth between MQA and non-MQA? And they go, well, we're not doing that. We're just listening to MQA. I was like, oh God, I didn't even listen. I was like, they lost me at that point. I was like, you guys are trying to promote your damn new format and you don't even let me toggle between standard format, 1644 and MQA. You guys suck. And it's always a red flag when there's a new format that claims to do something better. When it's a new format, man, you're just trying to resell the same records. Get over it, you guys. We're hip to that. So I didn't know they went bankrupt, but good. That's bad for me to say, but screw those guys. That's kind of how I feel, man. They came in to hustle and make money and rake people over, man. And that's what I stand against in this industry is these corporate interests where they come up with business ideas. How can we, make another couple million or more, on this crap on the audio files, the stupid audio files. Let's come up with a new format and we'll truncate, we'll take bits out and we'll unwrap a present, or whatever, and give you a present of a MQA file. It's silly. Any opinions on Rebel speakers? Yeah, I don't like Rebel. I think they can be good. I knew a mastering guy that used to use Rebel to master. So I know that they're painfully accurate. And those were the Rebel Grand Cremona. What were they called? Rebel Grand, Rebel, the top of the line, whatever they are. They're super freaking hard to drive. Super hard to drive. They used to cook my amps. Back when I was making amps, I had these 2,500 watt amps, 6-channel amps. They would bridge them. They'd use 2 of the amps, one for each side for triamp, and they would bridge them. So they had 800 watts in 3 different levels. And so I just, the Rebel, man, I can't remember what the name of them, but the top of the line. So I don't know. I don't Rebel. I don't like them. And I don't like metal drivers. Anytime I see aluminum drivers, it's just like it's fingers on the chalkboard to me. Have I had the chance to listen to the Rotel Michi amplifier range? No, not my wheelhouse. If Rotel is making some great stuff, I'm happy for him. I'm probably not going to put Rotel in my room. But Japanese stuff is great. I would prefer a higher level of Japanese stuff like TAD. Estalon founder Alfred was there at Expona. Oh, he was. Okay, cool. I didn't see him. Was his daughter there? They usually travel together. Mikey, do you buy into LSA 5.8? No, well, I think that's a KEF, right? LS3, the little KEF speakers. Look, they may be great, man. I just don't think so. The KEF, I've got some little speakers that are, well, I'll talk about them when I have them. We can compare them to much higher up KEFs for $3,500. Let me ask you guys, what price range would you want? First of all, would you want a monitor speaker brought to you that kicked ass? Second of all, what price range would you want that monitor speaker to kill everything else at? I have a new passion for listening and collecting CDs. Oh no, CDs need more love in my. I'm sorry, Nicholas. If you want to collect, dude, I've got a whole bunch of them. I'll sell you. I don't like CDs because to me, look, it's a good time to collect because they're probably 99 cents each. But CDs, a bad CD is unlistenable. That same CD ripped to a file and then stream back is not unlistenable. So CDs get zero love from me, and I apologize, Nicholas. I don't mean to crap on what you love, But if you want to buy some, I got a classic rock like you wouldn't believe. I used to work at a record store. I've got like 1,000 of them, probably 2,000. I have an older design of my Maggie bypass kit with hollow silver fuse. Would it help to add something in the hollow tube? And if so, what material? Um, I, well, put epoxy in there, you know? I mean, I put epoxy, but my epoxy is filled with material that I won't divulge. But you could put just epoxy. You could, um, you could put, no, don't put JB Weld because that'll be a mess. Um, yeah, you could put silicone if you want. That'll absorb vibration. But I honestly don't know that you're going to get a huge, what kind of a benefit you'll get. You're getting 90% of it, Michael. You're getting 98% of it, probably 99. Most of the way, very high quality offerings are being drowned out by marketed big name garbage. Most of the very high quality offerings are being drowned out by marketed big name. Absolutely, David. It's the way of the industry. The marketing trumps everything else. Dio double horns. That's right. Yeah, Cranny Hicks. Should open baffles be towed in? That not all the time. Magnapans, yes, because of their tweeters. But open baffles not all the time, especially like a horn, probably not. I usually like almost every speaker a little bit of toe in. You want them kind of pointed at your ear. Generally speaking, I want tweeters pointed at my ears. So I want this speaker pointed at this ear, this speaker pointed at that ear. That is generally speaking, that works. But it's not all the time with open baffles. Any advice for a new hi-fi sales guy just starting out and I'm making no money? Well, I mean, do you work for a store, Matt, or what? You have to tell me more. Bring me into the fold. Cheers. See you, Steve. Take care, buddy. Thoughts on Atoll amps? Really affordable, made in France. Yeah, good stuff from what I know, Yaniv. Good stuff. Rebel Salon, that's it. Ultima Salon 2. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Ultima Salon 2. Those are the ones that I had experience with. I have opinion on Tecton speakers. Of course, I already gave you my opinion on Tecton speakers. They drive me nuts because of the bug eye. That looks like a freaking there's something about it that tweaks. I didn't have this issue until someone said, "Do you have blank?" and then showed me a picture on the internet of like holes that were all together that look like it's like there's a name for it, and it's like something that you don't have the freaking phobia until you see that freaking photo, and then you gain the phobia. It's like it's something that tweaks something in the human psyche. It looks like little maggot hole, little things that worms are going to come out of. It's just something like that. So seeing holes together like that, or things circles together, that plus the fact that I know it's tweeters and mid ranges, but it looks like a bunch of tweeters together, and I know tweeters must be point source. They can't be clumped together. So the whole thing just screws me up. Okay. So I can't handle the visual. And from what I've heard with the Tectons, they do something interesting, but you tire of it. So it's interesting at first, but then after a little while, maybe a year's time, you're through with the novelty of whatever they're doing, and you want something more traditional, and you sell them. I think Tectons are very much, at least from my opinion, a lot of times it's a stepping stone. People try them because they're inexpensive, and then they move on. That's just from my experience. I know I've been asked, is this a million times, but SACD, you ever use player? I don't use SACD. I don't use SACD. Supposedly, that's like the best way to listen to, these the DSD things, like the playback designs, is you listen to an SACD going to. But you know what, man? Streaming, it's so damn good. No. So my thing is, I don't use SACD. I don't have I have an SACD player. I just need to fix it, and then I'll try it, and then maybe I can comment. Any thoughts on the new Class A audio gear manufactured in Japan? No, that's kind of cool that it's manufactured in Japan, but I listened to it recently, and it was okay. I mean, it's again not really my cup of tea. This guy only likes expensive gear. My name is Mikey Taffy. Um, my name is Mikey, and yeah, I like bespoke quality. So sue me. I know how to pick inexpensive gear, but I don't use it. Why would I use it, bro? This is what I do for a living. Um, so I use the good shit. And the good shit just so happens to be more expensive than the cheap shit. The cheap shit can be okay. If you like cheap stuff, get shit audio. It's really good and it's cheap. But it's not my waters that I swim in. Many people across channels have brought up ATC, yet little coverage. They are incredibly realistic. Yeah, I've heard about ATC. I don't know why. I just um, they're supposed to be pretty good, but I don't know. It's from what I can tell, they're just kind of sort of box speakers. There's nothing really visually impressive. And I think, does ATC come from UK? So anything imported, a lot of the imports are hard to penetrate our market. They have to be really marketed. What is it going to take for the industry to sell DSD format? Yeah, I know, Chris. DSD4 eats up major space. Like, those are huge files. So until storage becomes really inexpensive, and until we can like transfer USB via USB at really high speeds, DSD4 is kind of really a pain in the ass, even though it sounds phenomenal. So what I do is I convert to DSD4, and then you reap the benefits. Chris, are you the Chris in LA that just started selling playback? The turntable guy? I can't remember if Ulmer is your last name or not. I have the famous ATC mid-range in my speakers. Cool. Do you see the AGD Audions with biamping your Magnapans? Do I use AGD Audion with biamping my Magnapans? I do not. I use AGD Audions on my Magnapan tweeters in my quad amp setup. So AGD Audions run my 5-foot, my 60-inch ribbon tweeter. It's all good, Mikey. Hope you got any 60s, 70s rock. Send it my way. Oh, I got a shit ton, bro. I got a shit ton. That's all I have is 60s and 70s rock, like, and funk. And, that's like the majority of what I have. Yours is likely much better, but what is your opinion of Kimber braided style 12TC with baggies and solid state? Good combo, man. Good combo. No problem there. Yes, you work retail. Okay, Matt, so tell me more, man. You got to get a little deeper, bro. If you want me to give you some help, if you want to give me some help. First of all, do you give a shit about selling hi-fi? I mean, you work for what? $15 an hour? Is it a job to you, or is it a career? If it's a job to you, then sell the best marketed shit. Figure out the customer and sell them the shit that you think that they want. I mean, isn't that how start? If you want to do this as a career, I can tell you how to sell as a career. But if it's just a job to pass the time and get shit, you have to be enthused about it. If you're not enthused about it, you're in the wrong job. You got to be enthused about what you sell. When you're selling anything, you got to be into it. If you're not into it, you won't sell. Any opinion on golden ear speakers? I don't have any opinion on them. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about them. I know who they are, but I don't have any opinion. Will Dolby make us change all our digital AC4? I've got no idea, man. I don't pay attention to that. So what is it? I just want a pair of Infinity RS2B. Most of these new speakers just trying to do it all with little speaker. Just leave me flat. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, get your Infinities, man. Go get them. I don't know what those are, but sounds good. Monsieur Mickey, ever tested Von Alstyne amps or preamps? Decent stuff. I got to hand it to the guy for still being an owner operator, still making his stuff in USA. So hats off to Van Alstyne. I know someone compared the Jeff Rowland 125 to the Van Alstyne monoblocks, and the Rowland beat them. So I know some review recently liked Van Alstyne, but one of my customers compared Van Alstyne to the Jeff Roland 125, which is $4,000 amplifier, and to the Van Alstyne monos, and the Roland beat the Van Alstynes from at least one account. Tecton's equal tripophobia. There it is, brother. Moji knows what that shit is. That fucking shit. God, I cursed the person that ever showed me that shit. Remember back when that was going around? It'd be like, look at this. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Next thing you know, you got a new phobia. It's like, great, thanks. Thank you. I really didn't want that. I have an SACD player that can rip them to files. Oh, cool. Oh, in Atlanta. Show you sometime. Chris, you're in Atlanta, dude. You haven't come by to listen to the rig. What's wrong with you? Get your ass over here, brother. You have an SACD player that can rip them to files. I'd love to hear about that, because that's pirating. That's illegal. So who makes that? I know what it is. It's a hacked PlayStation. So if you've got that, that's pretty cool, bro. Yeah, you got to come by and listen, man. If you're local, come by, be an audio pal. I need a DAC with built-in 10 band EQ. Yeah, totally, bro. I think that's more of like an amp or a preamp thing. A DAC, I wouldn't put a EQ in the DAC. I would put an EQ in the amp, or better yet, the preamp. No, I'm not a San Diego computer scientist with a painfully expensive hi-fi habit. Oh, wait, Chris, Chris, but I recognize your name, dude. If we talked on the phone, San Diego computer scientist. Bro, look, I need someone to set me up. I got a network here, then I need a pro to set me straight on, brother. I need a professional network person. I've got Ubiquity, I've got a Ubiquity rig, and I need this thing dialed. I need it just. If you can do it, bro, I'll trade hi-fi for it. If you know somebody, please turn me on. I need a professional. What did Big J's system sound like to you? Sorry for putting you on the spot. No, that's all right, Dave. I explained it before you got on. Jay's system is visually the most amazing thing you've ever looked at. Those speakers I've never seen anything look so cool. His sonic is 0 to 100 in 0.5 seconds. So you pass out from G-force, and then you come to and you vomit it in your lap, and it's over. That is his MO. He likes the Lamborghini that just, that has no ride quality, but scares the shit out of you. And you talk to all your friends for the next 4 weeks about it. That's Jay's thing. And Jay's, so typically his sonic, even if it's perfectly dialed in, isn't my type of sonic. Jay, however, is a good guy. Okay, so Jay's got a great heart. He's doing it his way. I do it my way. We have different likes. We're total opposites in the way we listen. And Jay's speakers are not set up for his room. So Wilson speakers are useless unless they're set up for your room, because they're super highly tweak speakers. You have to have those things dialed into like the millimeter, for the sweet spot. And you have a resistor for every single driver based on your room. And he didn't have the resistor array set up for his room. So it's useless for me to make a judgment on Jay's room with those speakers put in with the last guy's settings. They're not even set up for Jay. Jay has to have, Wilson come out and set them, and then have me come and listen. After Wilson set them up, then I would be able to comment better. But even then, I would imagine they would be hyper detailed and hyper just revealing and analytical, and just maybe not my type of sonic. Like, so in his room, that's why vinyl works good in his room, because it softens all that stuff with his Boulder amps and everything. Vinyl softens it. So that's why he's all high on vinyl lately. Chris, no, the San Diego computer science with the painfully. Yeah. Okay. In my recent video of revisiting your old gear, you mentioned those open baffle speakers with no design. Any chance you could go a bit more into depth? Yes. Okay. So what I was trying to do with that video was help us to value open baffle speakers, because open baffles are the kind of things where anybody can jump into the game, because that shit is easy. It's a flat piece of wood with holes cut into it. Or is it? right? So that's what I'm questioning. I took a square piece of a baffle. I cut two circles in it, one for a sub, one for a full range driver. And we said, let's listen to this with zero design. We could be complete dumbasses. And we know, take a flat piece of wood, cut two holes in it, put two speakers in it, and let's hear what it sounds like in the room. It sounded pretty freaking good. So it just goes to show, some of these open baffles that are really expensive, especially these panels, some of these panels that are $50,000, $100,000. It's like, dude, give me a break, man. There's no freaking cabinet. How are you going to make it 150 grand when there's no damn cabinet? It's ludicrous. A cabinet is so complex. There's so much that goes into cabinet design. It's not even freaking funny. And so the idea with those open baffles was, let's see how good shit sounds if we just dumbass it, right? Like, let's just cut two holes in a freaking flat piece of wood and put it on a stand and listen to it. And that's what that experiment was. And we got some pretty decent sound. Now, that means if we put half a design into it, we could make some sick sounding speakers. And man, when I have more bandwidth, I'll do that. I have still a design in my head of a speaker. I still haven't brought in, and it's not the Nemesis 11. Nemesis 11 is another experiment. That's the MoFi killer. But I've got a full design in my head of something that I'd like to do that would be, there's nothing like it, okay? And I really want to do it, but I just don't have the bandwidth to do it right now. I have to make videos. I have to keep selling. I have to do shit like that. Once I got enough to really kick back, and spend some time doing some cool shit, then I can make you guys these world-class, just the ultimate do speaker, the last speaker you'll ever need kind of thing, right? What's going to be hard is making them pretty. That's going to be super hard, because I can make them kick ass, but they'll probably be ugly as shit. If using external hard drive, hardwired USB to player instead of streaming, is there any benefit to use SSD versus a DDC in the loop, digital to digital converter? I don't know why you want a digital converter. I think the benefit to SSD is no spinning disk, so less chances for error. It's solid state memory to solid state memory buffer in your computer. So I would use SSD, absolutely. And there's no reason not to use SSD right now. I just bought a 4 terabyte external SSD for $269, and it's a Samsung, and it's got a ruggedized case, and it's freaking teeny, dude. 4 terabytes, and the thing is smaller than my cell phone. It's crazy. So no reason not to use. I would use SSD every single time. I have Kimber cables, and I love them. But what's the scoop on your new Veristar cables? Well, I'm starting out with some basic stuff. What the scoop is it's going to be silver-plated copper with Teflon insulation. They're going to have some cool jackets on them to help with vibration, and they're going to be the Veristar Basics. Now, the Veristar Basic cable is a lot of people's premium cable. So they are absolutely premium cables, and I am going to bring them out for the tribe. So if you're in the tribe, you've signed up on 11 Stereo, it's free. I'm going to email you with a link of how to get them. The first 50 people are going to be able to get in on this thing. Now, it's either going to be 50 or 100, but it's going to be limited. Okay, I can only do these things. Now, this will bring us back to about a couple of years ago when I was talking about this. What I'm going to do moving forward for you guys is bring limited production runs of cables and potentially amplifiers and speakers and things like that. And I'm going to offer them at retarded prices. Okay, really good wholesale prices. If you guys buy it, okay, meaning you have to show me the support by buying these things. When I put out 100 cables available, 100 cables need to sell within 24 to 48 hours. If they sell within 24 to 48 hours, then I can keep doing them at that price. I need to make it a lump sale like that for me to profit enough to make it worth my time. If you guys support what I'm doing and you're like, yeah, go Mikey, we support you, and we do it, and you guys buy like that, then I can, it's like the group buy thing, or what do they call it, crowdfunding. But I'm not going to ask you guys to crowdfund my shit. I'm going to do it with my money, and then I'm going to have them ready to ship right away. So within 24 hours, you guys will get them. But you need to buy them when I put them for sale. And then if they disappear, then it's worth my time to do the project, and I'll continue to do it. but they have to disappear right away. I did once a test run with that. I sold 60 cables in 8 hours. So it should be considerable or reasonable to expect that people would buy 100 in 24 or 48 hours. If I put out 100 cables, people are going to be buying multiples. We're going to start with power cords. People are going to buy 2, 3, 4. There's going to be extra benefit to buying 4 cables. You'll get a better price, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to test market this, and this is going to be Mikey's way of bringing you guys a different way of buying. It's going to be bringing you guys production runs, okay? And if they sell out, I'll bring you more production runs. And at any time you guys want to trade in what you have for the new production run or for a new, like we're going to start with the round wire, then we're going to go to the foil cables. You'll be able to trade your cables back in and get 80% of what you paid. None of this half of what you paid bullshit, okay? I know what all the pitfalls are of the industry. It's reselling your shit and getting half of what you paid. It's getting stuff that doesn't work and there's no return policy. It's getting things, I take out all the pitfalls for you. I've got a whole process and a plan that will work for you guys if you support it. It's going to be contingent upon you guys jumping when I drop the production run. If that works, then I will guarantee you guys the best policy and the best sales terms you've ever encountered in hi-fi. But you have to show me your support by buying the shit when I put it out. And it's not shit, but this is how I speak, man. It's how I talk to you guys. Let's see. Any chance? Okay, yes, I'm using. Okay, past president. Okay, I have Kimber Cable. Okay, past president of CEDIA, Tom Doherty, was my college roommate. He did some major humping when he first started. I'm sure he did. Believe in your product and your ability to sell the sound. That's right. Yeah, man. CEDIA is crazy now. It's a huge thing. Good for him, man. Rock on, Ted Doherty. I went to a kid named with a school and the kid, Tom Doherty, my bad. I went to school with a kid named Teddy Doherty. Mikey, can 10, 15K get a badass rig? Absolutely. Buy used. Any opinion on unique looking Linkwitz speakers? And actually 10 to 15K can get you some pretty kick-ass shit new too. The good thing about new is you get longer life out of it, especially speakers. You get longer life out of it. That's why. But if you buy really good stuff that's used, like used Jeff Rowland, still get a good value. Any opinion? But if you want help with the 10 to 15K badass rig, contact me. The people that do the best with me are the ones that say, I've got this much budget, build me a rig, Mikey, where I build it from the front to the back. Like I'm not just adding a piece in. I can give you better results if I put the whole thing together than if I do just piecemeal, because I know what things match together. If I've got to try and make what I have match with what you have, or you want to throw in your own little stuff, it makes it harder and longer for us to get you dialed in. If you just tell me how much and I send you the rig, it's immediately done. It's immediately works. Any opinion on unique looking Linkwitz speakers versus Maggie's for mids and highs? I don't know anything about Linkwitz. I know they sound pretty good. They are unique looking. And I commented at the show, I'm like, these are going to be hard to sell for people because they look so strange. They just look like a strange thing in your room, so for people that have dedicated listening rooms or living rooms where they don't care, that's fine. But if you're trying to make it for like company coming over or whatever, you're going to look like an uber geek weirdo if you got Linkwitz speakers in your living room. Ubiquity can be dialed in for hi-fi. I'm your man. Okay, I have a whole lot of video content to explain the hi-fi industry nonsense regarding IP. Oh, killer. Okay, look, brother, Chris, if you're a computer scientist, find my number on 11 Stereo. I'm not going to say it right now, 404-764-6233. That's my phone number. Call me up, brother. Call me tomorrow. And you know what? Let's get through this rig. What I want to do is I'll talk to you when I talk to you, man. But you know what? I will have you as a guest. How about that? I will have you as a guest on one of my podcasts, and you and I will talk about the bullshit regarding the IP networking, because it's a great conversation, and you have the chops to be the guy talking about it. You have the background, and man, I've had this conversation a million times with people, and uh, um, man, people really swear by it. That's what the problem is. People try this shit. What I want to know, Chris, is why does it work? So yes, let's do a series of vids. You will be a guest on my podcast. Let's talk first. Let me get to know you. We'll get a little rapport going. But please call me up. If you didn't catch my phone number that I just said, look for it on 11 Stereo. You'll find it. It's definitely a career choice and not just a job. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. My core struggle is qualifying customers. Thoughts? Okay. Let's see. Because see, I've never worked in a retail store, and it would be weird because customers coming into a retail store are very standoffish. They're very much like, no, just looking, you know. I don't know, man. I would start by, letting them know, look, man, my job is not to sell you something. My job is to give you what you came here to find. So if I can help you with that, that's what I'm here for. You almost have to be a little bit standoffish. I would not stand next to them and stare at them a lot. I would sort of come in, shake your hands, look them in the eye, let them know who you are, let them know you're there for them. Let them know you're not there to sell them something. You're there to help them get what they're after, and then fricking walk away, and say, what can I, what can I turn on for you? Or let me know if I can put something, I can demonstrate something for you, because we've really got some great things here that I can demonstrate. If you have some great things, I don't know where you work. What are your, if you work at Best Buy, it's going to be, well, shit, you can work with what you got, bro. Put your best foot forward. Have songs ready that showcase that rig. Don't use, if they're asking for songs and you don't know how it sounds, that's you can kind of ask them what they like. Do you like, what genre do you like? And then have your demo songs for that genre already, so have them on a playlist on the laptop, and then click them in for them and wow them with the stuff. You can't, it's hard to close, man. I don't close my customers. My customers close me, man. They have to convince me. They tell me they want to buy, and I take care of them really well, man. But I can't. It's not about me selling them something, and that's the tough thing about being in a store is, But look, dude, if they came to the store, unless they wandered in because you're in a place where they can wander in, they came for a reason, brother. I guess you've got to get past their wall. That's the first thing, is get past their wall, build a rapport. That's the first thing I do. Get to know them first, and not phony bullshit, bro. Be a real guy. Just get to know them. Hey, my name's Matt. How you doing, man? Get to know them, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't start with what brings you in the store today. I mean, maybe you could. I don't know, bro. I've never sold retail like that. It would be weird for me to sell. I don't know. I don't know how I'd do it. I'd have to be in the situation. I'm trying to imagine myself in the situation right now, and I don't know. Basically, just let them know, look, I'm here to help you get what you're after. The stuff is, and you probably sell home theater and audio, so it's kind of like they're two different things. You're selling them an experience. That's the bottom line, so just let them know you're there for you're there for them, and you're not trying to sell them some box of something, man. You want them to get what they're after. Is it worth testing Martin Logan waters, as you once had a vid about them? I've never had a vid about Martin Logan. I don't think so. And they were kind of digging the mids. I don't like Martin Logan, so I'm not sure, Michael. Magnapans are by far my favorite beyond Martin Logan. I would never. I don't want Martin Logan, and Magnapan I would definitely have. Yeah, Almer, make sure to call me, man. Haha, done. I have live diagrams and example. Okay, cool, brother. We're gonna do this, man. This will be great. My thoughts on Sonus Faber. I don't know what model that is, but I generally speaking, I like Sonus because they're Ubiquity is my equipment, Charles. That's my switch. I have a Ubiquity system. So my switch is Ubiquity and my network is going to be on a Ubiquity setup. And I want cameras. I want him to consult with me, and I need to have my work network needs to be separate from the I want all my networks separated out. So when we're watching TV in one room and streaming, it's not tugging off my my bandwidth of when I need to do shit like this, and whatever. He'll know how to optimize me. Please do a show on how to set up network for hi-fi, Chris, Ulmer, and Mikey. Yeah, we will, Chris. I think Ulmer and I are going to get along fine. Yep, great job, Mikey. All the best. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to sign out. Look, what has it been? An hour and 30 minutes. Holy shit. I got to get out of here, guys. I'm killing my evening. Hey, Mike, thanks for your feedback on name sound. I was just curious about the rig sound. I didn't like it. Did I manage to listen to some Bel Canto? I did, as a matter of fact. I know John Stronzer. I've known him for a long time. In fact, Bel Canto was one of the first companies to give me feedback on my cables. And Matt Kramer gave very high praise to my cables. Yeah, Bel Canto's good stuff. It's pretty. I think it's kind of expensive for the DAC and stuff. I don't know. It's really beautiful. Let's put it that way. It's beautiful. It sounds good. I'm partial to playback designs. Always appreciate a salesman saying hi and so and let me know if you have any questions. Then walks away. Absolutely, man. You can't be up in their grill, man. You got to get the hell out of there. Just let them know you're there to support them. That's it. Any thoughts on Vandersteen? I don't know. What do you work locally at Hi-Fi Buys? That's my question. Because Vandersteen, I guess, is good, man, and they've got a good following. I've not fallen in love with them. Let's put it that way. I've never fallen in love with Vandersteens. I don't know why. It's just never at this point yet. Any heavy music fans here? Lamb of God, Gojira, 6 Feet Under, next deck. Yeah, I mean, I've got a client in Germany who loves heavy metal, and he's got like $150,000 rig, and he plays is metal on it. Germany, of course, 20. Yeah, 20. See, okay, so you're one of the few that saw that. So the 20 hertz boobies, yeah, man. See, I got to do shit like that, dude. Otherwise this shit's too boring for me. It's like we had even funnier ideas. We sit here and we're not even stoned, and we come up with the most funny ideas for videos that I'm like, God, I can't do that. I made a video in the bathtub one time, and I'm sitting here in the bathtub with bubble bath, and I'm blowing suds, and I'm talking, and we didn't do it because I'm like, people will lose their mind. I'll lose whatever credibility I might have. People will just be turned. But it was funny as shit, dude. I laughed my freaking ass off at the video. It looks so funny. Here I am, fucking old man titties and shit in the bathtub. It was funny shit, bro. So I love doing stuff like that. I love to make fun and do comedy routines, but my comedy is sometimes not, it sometimes can be a little poopy jokes, right? Farty poopy jokes. They still make me laugh. Still wanted to say that you have been killing it on your content. Great job. Thanks, David. I appreciate it, brother. Metal. Yeah. Good job, Mike, for a good Q&A. Thanks, man. I like when a salesman would tell me his name. Say, yeah. I'm from Atlanta, but hell no. Matt Myers. Okay. So are you from Atlanta? Do you still live here? Or are you just from Atlanta? Yeah, total. Chi-Chi's at 20 hertz. That was funny shit. There's others, man. I've got other funny things that I would love to do. Someday I might show you guys the bathtub vid. I sent it out to a couple of my close. I think it's posted up here, and I have the link, but it's a private link. So anybody that I know is not gonna like judge me, I can send you a link, and you'll laugh your ass off. I'm my long haired, overfaired man titty fucking sitting in a bathtub, man. It's funny shit. And the funny part is my girlfriend thinks I'm an idiot for doing it, and she's taking the video of it, and she's like kind of like no, you can't, you can't. And I get pissed at her like partway through, and I'm like, what? And it's comedy to see our interaction because of how of and then she kills my spirit. Like I've got the spirit. Like I want to do the video because I think it's going to be so funny. It's such a funny idea in my head, and I start to do it, and she's like, no, dude, this is going to be stupid, and she kills the spirit, right? And you see the spirit go right out of me, and then I start bitching at her because she's killed the spirit. It's just the funniest shit. Um, someday I may show that. Okay, so I'm gonna sign out. See you guys later. I will have the second part of the Expona thing tomorrow, and then today I went and saw later, Nick. I went and saw Isaac's rig, which is we have the huge vacuum tubes and all that, and he's got Sound Lab speakers, $100,000 rig. I'll put that up. I did a video there today too. So I'm gonna sign out, guys. But thanks everybody. I appreciate you all for showing up. Every Wednesday now at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm gonna have a question and answer session so you guys can talk direct with me. So thanks everybody. I will see you later. See you. Be well. Later.